Hi, my name's Deshawn Ward.
Kimberly Lynn.
It's Leslie Zerla.
My name is Krista Brown.
Fiala.
Gary Larson.
My name's Ben Thompson.
Brett Brown.
How did you get into advertising?
I knew I wanted to do advertising when I was in high school.
Always liked to draw when I was a kid.
It was always about the arts. It was always about a combination of communication, expression.
The moment I knew was there was this Nike commercial for Michael Jordan. I was like a big tomboy growing up.
I was an illustrator before I got into advertising.
As a little kid, I remember, with the refrigerator boxes, we'd cut holes in it and make it a little house, write a play around it.
I kind of got into it by accidentally.
I loved the Chicago Bulls and I loved Michael Jordan. And there was this Nike commercial where it was like everything was frozen in time.
A lot of time drawing and doing artwork and doodling in my books and stuff. So
I figured this would be a place where I'd get to really combine everything.
And it was just a beautiful like cinematic commercial, and it won a bunch of awards, but I remember seeing that commercial and I knew I wanted to do that.
What are your favorite parts?
I'd say my favorite parts are working with creative people.
I like collaboration.
In advertising, it's completely different every day.
Just ask yourself on a daily basis, just what if?
Seeing the actual commercial.
You can do really straight advertising, or you can have a lot of fun with it if you don't take it too seriously.
Having something tangible to say, hey, this is what I worked on, and people can relate.
always changing and it's always different. So it's a lot of fun. Makes it interesting.
And I can work on a billboard that's tiny on my screen, and then when I see it that's like on Wilshire Boulevard and it's like massive.
The actual ad in a publication.
It's really exciting. It's really fun to have people like that be like, oh, I saw your outdoor board or I saw your print ad. That's fun.
What makes me not like advertising?
Do I like least?
It seems as if everything we do is a rush.
What's challenging is that sometimes you know what's best for a client, and yet they're kind of resistant to change.
They just don't see it. They want to go with something more safe or more traditional or whatever.
Every company I've ever worked at, everything is a rush.
On the corporate level, sometimes things don't happen fast enough, but that's what business is.
Everyone expends an amazing amount of energy to make 30 seconds. Almost as much energy as it would take to make a movie.
Don't like the word no.
It's a little incoherent.
Don't like the word can't be done.
It tends to be a last minute, everything's a rush kind of business.
People not buying your most interesting idea that you think is really cool and unique. And
that's what's really challenging, is to have this really brilliant work sitting on your computer and to watch it never see the light of day.
Sometimes it's hard because you need to work with people that are difficult, and that's just the way it is. Other times it's great because it's a pleasure, because the people are so receptive and they appreciate the work.
College is like high school. It's this little protected environment where everything's arranged, and then you get dropped off into the world. And it's like, well, who do you call to get a job? How do you do that? So you have to kind of be doing it while you're in school.
it's the hardest thing about getting your first job is just getting your foot in the door, and so internships and any kind of work study programs are going to help you figure out how to do that.
Try to do something you like and something that makes you excited to get up in the morning, then I think the transition's pretty easy.
Kind of have to be relentless. You need to be out there, kind of just putting your name out there.
Never stop learning.
You don't have to wait for a fellowship to come along or the right official job. You can just go make it up.
And you never know when there's going to be a connection between somebody who knows somebody else or whatever. It's all about getting the ball rolling.
Totally invited to just go knock on a door and say, I want to work for free. I want to come in 2 hours a week or 6 hours a week and just do it. Get to know people as much as it is to get to know jobs.
And any thoughts on the future of advertising?
Well, it's definitely the internet. I mean, that's changed our business drastically.
You're always going to have new media, and that doesn't mean it's good, doesn't mean it's bad. Rather than work in what's new, you kind of should work in what's best.
People don't want to be interrupted by advertising, so how advertising gets immersed in different things and becomes more interactive and actually more entertainment.
I just think media is media. It's all just tools. I mean, you have to understand it and you have to know it, but I mean, you have to be good at finding the idea first.
It's going to be real interesting to see how it all pans out in the next few years.
I was notorious for avoiding advertisements. I would purchase XM radio so I wouldn't have to hear, I wouldn't have to listen to the radio advertisements. I would DVR every program I liked because I didn't want to watch any commercials. So now I actually pay attention to them and I look at them and listen. And then I'm very judgmental about them now.
I was technically an intern. I just kind of mocked up a couple print ads for FEMA, and my boss ended up pitching them. 2 days before my college graduation, I saw like my ad as a bus shelter, like right by the Staples Center, and like it just was awesome. Like they were all over downtown LA, but like there was one right in front of the Staples Center. Yeah. It was pretty cool. That was the best moment.
During this process, I've learned a lot about myself.
My favorite motto, the one I try to live by, which is fail harder. You always got to be willing to fail. You know, that's the only way.
If you have passion, if you have energy, you'll constantly find avenues and areas to grow.
We're hired because our guts have to be pretty good. We make predictions about like what people in mass in that group are going to respond to.
I don't believe anything I see in a magazine. Nothing that I see in a magazine.
This is just for school, right?